Good evening, Super KANGEN Night All-Stars from the Prosperity and Health Alliance. It's yours truly, Wade T. Lightheart, coming at you live from Vancouver, and I'm joined by my good buddy, Mr. Kirill Hutchinson. Want to say hi, Kirill?
Yeah, I sure do. Hey, everybody. It's nice to be back on the show. I've been away for a month. KANGEN lifestyle in full effect in Greece and Egypt. So happy to be back. Really appreciate all your efforts while I've been away, and thanks to my co-hosts Siha and Wade for holding down the webinars and supporting the team. So I appreciate you guys.
And great to have you back, Kirill. Of course, you had a wonderful trip to Egypt, and I think it's really amazing, you know, for a lot of people who are just starting out, oftentimes those higher ranks seem like a long ways away. And the thing is you just stick with it and you get there eventually. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes work, but you know what? It's so worth it. It really is really worth it. And I know Siha and I were talking the other day about what it's like to get 2-3, and I got to say it's a wonderful experience to just know that you've got that solid income coming in, that you have a growing team, and that you can go anywhere in the world and create opportunities for yourself and bring health and prosperity to other people. So I mean, that's what a great deal. So we appreciate all the efforts. We appreciate having you on the call. And we're delighted to kind of move forward. Now, today is a very interesting day because it marks week number 6 in the 12-week course. So we're literally at the halfway mark. And this is where we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of what it takes. A lot of the stuff prior to this is just like techniques or setting up or getting a machine or a variety of what we call the little details, which are essential. But what's going to happen from here on, we're going to move into the skill set, the ability for you to become a network marketing professional in the KANGEN business, how to take wherever you're at and build the skills that you can make that 6-figure or, you know, per year business or a 5-figure per month or whatever it is that you want to achieve financially. Maybe it's an extra $500, maybe it's an extra $1,000. Well, we're going to give you those skills. We're going to teach these skills to you today. So tonight, we're going to go in reverse. And what that means is I'm going to go through the checklist, which you received in your email. I'm actually going to pull up the checklist that I have right on my screen. It's just the same one that you get in your stuff. You're going to see all the garbage on the side that makes Kirill and Kim go crazy with what it shows, because I just opened it up on my desktop, but you can do the same thing. We're going to go through this together because this is really important. By going through this, it's a reminder that what are the things that you missed maybe in the last 12 weeks? Oftentimes we don't have it all perfect. We missed a week or things got busy. We might have been away in Egypt for a few weeks or whatever. So the point of the matter is all this information is here and we can go through this. Now, ideally, you want to go through this checklist with your upline sponsor, and I would say your active upline sponsor, because sometimes the person sponsor might not be doing anything. You need to go to the next rank, or someone who can help you. And if that goes all the way up to us, we're cool with that too, because we're here to help you. So we're going to go through this, and then we're going to have Kirill break down the daily method of operation, the DMO. This DMO, the daily method of operation, is probably the difference between having a successful KANGEN business and a stressful KANGEN business. That's really the difference. If you're just kind of, oh my God, blah, 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 it's stressful. If you have a daily method of operations, all of a sudden you have a business system, and from that you can make all your dreams come true and achieve your goals, and your business now becomes something that that's workable and manageable. So let's not waste any more time. I'm going to dive right into this checklist right off the bat. So you would have received this in prosperityandhealthalliance.com, number 12, so PHA 12. Look for it in your mailbox or look for it in your junk mail if it didn't come through. As we said, it's all PHA and each one's listed in numerical order. So this is a little reminder. Remember, I want to be clear about these checklists. This is not about passing or failing. Okay, this is about finding out where you need to get excited or where you need to focus and what places that you're having, so that your upline support, that we can help coach you better. Now, let's go through this list, okay? And remember, it's okay. Wherever you're at, it's okay. And there's a couple things right off the bat. You'll notice there's 1, 2, 3. Watch the rise of the entrepreneur. Watch Brilliant Compensation, and listen to the GoPro audiobook. By the way, these are in the links given in the training series. So all the links are in here, so you don't. So just go back into your computer, find those things, and go through this. So the reason why this is really important is these 3 videos that we're talking about here. This teaches you about the industry. This teaches you about why this industry is exploding right now in the world. This is teaching you why this is the most fairest compensation program out there, and why all the big companies are trying to move to a model like this, and why the internet is allowing you to participate on a level never before. This is an amazing time in the world, and these videos, why it's important to watch these in their complete, and I would recommend that you watch it maybe several times, and then also with your new distributors, watch it again and reinvigorate yourself, because when you go through this, you start to sell yourself on our business. You start to see clearly, and also what I believe, it adds bulletproof armor when people come at you and say, oh, is that a pyramid thing? Is that an MLM thing? Or is that a networking thing? Or you got to have all this stuff. So it helps build you a case in your mind about putting the good information in. And then, of course, listen to the GoPro audiobook where Eric Worre goes into the 7 skills. Now, the next thing is book tickets for the GoPro Eric Worre convention. That's coming up in December 1st to 4th. There are tickets out there. If you want to get one, reach out to us. We might be able to provide some links to you. You definitely want to go to that. Basically, it's going to be like, I don't know, 12,000 network marketing professionals learning the skills. All the legends of the industry will be sharing their knowledge and information on how to build a great business. And I think it's an amazing event. And you can really get a feel for how amazing our industry is. Next, register for GoPro newsletter and Facebook. Look, we're not the only training in town. Creel, Seha, and myself, we help train on this to help you become successful, and we integrate a lot of this into the Enagic and KANGEN business. But let's not kid ourselves. There are some extremely amazing professionals, and Eric Worre leads the way with that, so that newsletter will kind of get you up what's happening in the industry. Get on the Facebook page. The other thing is order a copy of Eric Worre's GoPro. Kim was just saying today, she's got like 20 or 25 of these things all set to go for her team, all that sort of stuff. A couple other things here. Supplies from 6A Tools, supplies from Ion Faucet. And these 2 things are things that you need, especially if you're doing water trials or you're doing demos at people's houses. You need these tools to make sure that you can hook up the machine to other unusual faucets and sinks and that sort of stuff. There's a lot of them now. You need those tools. And we recommend putting it all into a kit. So we call this the Organized Live Demo Supplies Kit. I have it all in a carry-on bag, and I teach my distributors to do the same thing. This was all developed to me by a friend, Lamont Daigle, who is a 6A in our organization, and he was from the pharmaceutical industry, and he used to do skincare stuff, and he had a whole kit all ready to go. He could go out the door, just toss it in his car, and do demos doing that. So if the top professionals in the pharmaceutical industry have a supply kit and a demo kit, don't you think it makes sense that you have one too? And the cool thing is that once you have that all set up, you can just take it anywhere and have it ready to go in a car. You're ready for a demo at any time, any place. And at the end of the day, the demo is where all the power is. That's where all the action is. People do not know what this technology is until they see a demo. And one of the things that we tend to forget is we're around the technology and we use the technology and we get used to the technology. But this technology is a mind blower for most people, and they can't even imagine what our machine does, but the demo helps do that, and that's exciting. And anytime in marketing that you can demonstrate the efficacy of whatever you're doing, you can think online to the chamois guys or the people using the vacuum cleaners on TV or the super glue guy sticking the guy to the top, you know, his head to the thing, and he's hanging off with the helmet and all that stuff. Think of all those things that had made an impression on you. Well, our demo does that. There's really nothing like it. So, you know, if you want to make a check a day, you want to have a great income, you want to be doing as many demos as possible, putting the demos in front of people, getting people on the water, and following up, and you're going to reach your dreams. That's it. Very, very simple. Next thing, order the Enagic demo handbook. That's the really nice handbook that looks like a customized, like you're buying a high-end car. It kind of demonstrates all the stuff. This is another great demo thing because you can just sit in a coffee shop, flip through it, show people that. It's beautiful, it's attractive, it's simple and easy. Anybody can do it. You don't even have to have a computer or power source. Here's another one. Download the tracking and accountability chart. We did that a couple weeks ago to just kind of go through and tracking your accountability. You want to do that and see, again, you want to start off every week. You want to be having those 25 texts, sending out to your potential contacts, people on your phone, that sort of stuff, and then follow up from that and get your appointments. You want to watch the high performance webinar. That's a link that's in your demos, just talking about the principles that allows you to kind of operate at a high performance. Because in today's world, with all the distractions, with all the internet stuff, with all these things, it's real easy to get out of high performance and to get in. And I'll share with you this. I was discussing this with a couple people the other night, and the reality is Adam Smith wrote a book called The Wealth of Nations, and inside of that is the foundation of of capitalism as we know it, the old capitalism, not crony capitalism, but capitalism in its pure aspect. And in that book, he said, you know, the fate or success or the wealth of a nation is determined by if it produces more than it consumes. And that's true also in your own life. And what I want to share with you is every time, like the one commodity that's always going to zero is time. Everybody has we don't know how much we have, but we know that whatever time you do have, it's getting closer to the end every second that goes by. And the reality is how you spend your time, how you consume your time, or how your time consumes you. So if you have Facebook notifications on, and you're checking your texts all the time, and you're checking your emails more than twice a day, guess what? You are overconsumption of time-wasting activities. Now, you get little dopamine hits in your brain, but the reality is you need to produce more than you consume. So you need to set aside some time where you're reaching out, you're making the connections, you're reaching out to get those meetings, to get those webinars, to get those demonstrations, and to do those follow-ups and get people on the water. Those are income-producing activities, and those are production activities. Reading Facebook, answering texts, or texting back and forth to people, or going on other social media, Instagram, you need to really limit that stuff if you want to be successful. People are like, oh, wait, well, this is good for business. It's good for business if you're the one putting out, not if you're the one consuming. So get out of consumption and get into production, and make sure that you're producing more, and you can get tracking software to limit your social media time, and again, turn off all the messengers. For myself, I know I get up in the morning and I have 2 hours of solid production before I even look at my emails or before I get anything in that stuff, and then I go do my other thing. Actually, I don't even really get to my emails or messages or phone calls or anything till the afternoon. It's output first before the input. Very, 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 very important. The other thing is we recommend going to the back office. You need to be comfortable going there, downloading the forms and things that you need to be successful, and just kind of spend an afternoon and kick around inside of that, see all the things. A lot of cool stuff in there if you want to find it. So go on that at enagic.com. The other thing is make sure you've watched the Order Online video. Ordering online is awesome. It's fast, it's easy, it's efficient, and it works. If you're in North America, Canada, United States, I highly recommend it. It speeds up the process. It saves all the signatures and all these things that can slow the process down. It's very, very quick, and it goes right into the office, and the order comes out, and boom, it's done. I love the online ordering, and so watch that video. Make sure you watch how to do the Enagic paperwork. I got to say, I was a paperwork disaster in Enagic. I struggle with paperwork, just the way my brain works. And I finally got this down. But let me share with you. This this is something that you want to get done well. You know, and I know Creel's really great at this, and I love him for it. He's very good at details and stuff. And so that's an area I struggle. So know which areas here that you struggle in, and just, that's okay. Just make sure you can get things done. Finally, created a clear DMO. That's a daily method of operation. How many hours are going to work a week? Make that decision right now. Just take a second and decide how many hours you really want to put into this on a weekly basis. How many can you put aside? And then make sure that's an income-producing activity. Creel's going to talk about that in just a second. This is from Prosperity and Health Alliance, email number 11. Finally, feel comfortable in my game plan of activity. You know, the worst thing that happens is some people try to compare themselves to other people and say, well, so-and-so got 6A in 72 days, or so-and-so is doing this amount of money, or so-and-so is doing that. Oftentimes you don't know the whole story. The reality is you just need to be comfortable with your game plan, work with your upline support to make sure that your game plan is realistic, check in. I mean, at the end of the day, you do it by yourself, but you don't do it alone when it comes to the business. Okay, so yes, you got to go out there and do that, but we're all in this together. That's why we're here. If you guys have any questions, by the way, we'll answer at the end of the webinar. Finally, check out the Tony Robbins video. I think this is really, really powerful. Tony is a master. I do recommend you can check out his latest video on Netflix called I'm Not Your Guru. And he just kind of shows you the power of changing your psychology and what that can mean in your life. Okay? And go back and check your checklist number 1 and check your checklist number 2. Checklist number 1, I believe, is in email number 6. This is email number 12. This is the halfway point. Go through those 2 checklists and make a list of the things, and then book an appointment with your upline support to say, hey, let's go over those things that I didn't get, or the things I'm struggling with, the things I have challenges with. And guess what? You are going to be on the road to greatness. And believe me, we don't expect you to be perfect. This is not a pass or fail. This is, hey, let's get you on the right track, and let's get your team on the right track. That's why we built these things. So the next part I'm going to add is, you know, there's 3 things that you need to be doing in this business. This goes back to the daily method of operation, and I'm going to turn it over to Creel. Number 1, you need to be inviting or following up on your 25 prospects list. That means you want to be hitting 25 prospects every single week. Now, let's say you've got 5 appointments. You got 20 prospects from before. Keep on them. Keep at them. People that have said no or not right now, do a drip on those. Make sure you're hitting out there 25 prospects a week. And if you do this consistently, I can tell you what, you will go 6A, you will go 6A2, you will go 6A23. This is the make or break part. You can be terrible at everything else in the business, but if you're inviting and following up on 25 people a week, you will get successful. 2, spend 10 to 60 minutes a day on learning a specific skill in the business, whether it's inviting, closing, or coaching. Determine which one that you have trouble with. Start with inviting. Closing, when you start out, get your upline support to help you close. Okay? If you're not a good closer or you have trouble with sales or everything, get them involved early in the process. They'll be delighted to help you. Okay? So inviting and closing. And finally, coaching. Are you coachable? Are you getting coaching? Are you participating in the coaching provided? Are you asking questions at the end of the webinars? Look, that takes a certain level of humility. Okay? The reality is there's no room for pridefulness in this business. The ones who are the most humble do the best. And you might think that some of those people going across the stage, they have a, you might say, oh, they're a big ego, or they like the crowd, and that's true. Oftentimes that is the case. But when you're sitting back in the green room, all of those people that I've met, they're asking questions. They're finding out what's working. They're asking what's going on in their team, and they're integrating and trying it and doing new things. And sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does. But all the people I've ever met going across the stage at the big events, all of them are people who are humble when it comes to learning the business, which is great. And finally, take a minimum of 1 new action per day towards achieving your goal, vision, or dream. Look, time is dwindling all the time. And the reality is If you have a day where you're not moving towards your goal or your vision or your dream, whose day was that? Did you achieve that? Was that a winning day? And it can be just a small thing. It can be taking 5 minutes. Look, there is a like if you put your income goal or you put your rank goal or whatever that is, let's say it's 6A. Guess what? For you to go 6A, there is an undetermined number of actions that you need to perform. It might be 50, might be 100, might be 500. We don't know what that is. But if you take one action towards this every single day and focus on the things that we're sharing to focus on, guess what? Each day you move closer, even if it looks like you're not moving closer. Even if you took 25 no's in a row. Look at JV. 54 no's in a row. 54 no's in a row, didn't sell the machine, and guess what? Now 85% of North America is under JV. So even in those 53 no's, all those no's, all the fails, all those things, were leading him to outrageous success, and it's the same for you. Sometimes when you think you're spinning your wheels the most, or you're facing the most frustrations, or it seems to be the most challenge, or you're getting the most no's, this is actually when you're making the most progress. It just doesn't look like it sometimes. So, you know, be patient, be positive, always check in the upline and go to the stuff. And I'm going to turn it over to Krill, the master of the daily method of operation, so that you can dial in what you need to do to be absolutely successful on this. So over to you, Krill. Take it away.
Thanks so much, Wade. I just want to give you a couple comments back. It's so great because I've been away for a little while, so my head has been not in Kangen water world and you know, running the business. So to come back, jump on the webinar, and we're going over the checklist, and I see how you know, we've been able to put this education and business training into a step-by-step process. And I know if I've done all 20 of those steps, and I know if somebody's out there and they're a distributor in this business and they've taken those steps, I know they're further along in their how they feel comfortable in this business, their opportunity for success, their skills. So I'm really excited that we've got this to add value to anyone who's watching this and to our teams, because I really feel like if you've got a game plan, a roadmap, something clear to walk through, then it's really about finding the time to do it. And so that leads perfectly into the daily method of operation. Daily method of operation begins with a game plan. The game plan has different features to it. You've got daily game plans, weekly game plans, monthly game plans, quarterly game plans, yearly game plans. And so in order for you to achieve your goals, and Wade was correct when he said each goal that is attained by everybody in our business, we all started at 1As all the way up to 6A 2-3s. And the key is take one step at a time. One call, one text message, one meeting, one demo, one follow-up, and you consistently just keep doing that. But before you can do that, you need to be building that daily method of operation into what you are committed to. So this business starts with commitment. It's understanding how many hours a week you are committed to taking those action steps. Less amount of hours are going to be less steps a week, which will create different results. But whatever that is, do something that's authentic for yourself. I've seen people commit to 20 hours a week and then they fall behind from week one, and then they kind of just let the whole thing go. It's better to commit to something smaller and realistic and to complete it and do it, gain confidence, gain the understanding, and build on these little successes rather than trying to hit home runs right away. You know, I think that probably makes sense to people. So decide how many hours a week you're going to do this, and then schedule when you're going to do those hours. Is it Monday and Wednesdays? Is it 1 hour in the evening, 5 days a week? Is it 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week? Whatever that is, you need to make a commitment to do it, schedule it properly, and now I'm going to show you what to do in those hours. So for myself, I've grown into about a 35-hour work week. Now, it didn't start that way. I had to learn really what it took to be an entrepreneur working from home. I had bad habits in the beginning, but I realized the lifestyle that I want needs a certain amount of hours into my business weekly, and if I don't do those hours, my lifestyle will suffer. So I've got myself trained. I get up in the morning, do my meditations, do a little bit of workout, have a nice meal, maybe go for a jog. So it's some kind of physical and spiritual exercises in the morning. So at about 9 o'clock, I'm walking into my office. Wade mentioned this earlier. Peak performance, to really excel in your activity levels, you need to be thinking output first rather than input. So the output is taking action, being on offense in your business. Now we speak about reaching out and doing 25 texts a week. Now it doesn't make sense to take 25 texts a week when you're on Friday because the response time from people are headed into the weekend. So your daily method of operation needs to also be properly figured into a weekly and monthly activity. So Monday, great day to start reaching out. So just for yourself, I do the exact same thing, just at a different level from the new person, but I probably reached out to about 40 people, but I've got 21 people on this list that I need to follow up with, right? From there, I'm going to be booking appointments and so forth. So I take a lot of action Monday morning from like 9 to noon is really reaching out, following up, conversations I was having with people before I left to Egypt, picking them back up, did you look at the video I sent you? What have you been doing? Rekindling those relationships. So I'm thinking output, connecting with people. Then I'll move into follow-up and kind of more responsive mode. If I've got some long emails to do, some people have asked technical questions, I'll respond to it. And that will be more for the afternoon. I'll also book some calls, support for my team. I did 3 this afternoon. 1 was a coaching call, 2 were 3-way calls to help educate a new customer, and they both ended up in sales to brand new distributors. I'll give a shout out to my new distributor, Eileen, in New York City. She went 2-8 today, selling a trifecta. So that's me in my activity, and then I try to do some of the bigger projects and some of the checklists. Wade mentioned, step 3 of daily method of operation from the email is take a minimum of 1 new action per day towards achieving your goal, vision, and dream. For me, I have long-term visions and dreams, so it's one activity that I want to do. So I was working on a special PowerPoint that I'm going to be presenting when I'm in Hawaii, so bringing some extra new value to the team. So I save that for the afternoon. Daily method of operation daily, but it also then is weekly. So taking the output at the beginning of the week allows us to kind of catch, follow up with people throughout the week towards the end. You also want to be thinking monthly and yearly. That's why we operate our 90-day game plan so that we end around Christmas rather than thinking of starting a 90-day game plan right now. So you want to have that kind of focus where you're at and what you're doing, but it really starts with how many hours, commit to it, and build on this. Remember, it's very difficult to get accountability in our own home-based business unless you've got a partner or you've got a really strong muscle when it comes to that, but you got to commit to the time, right? Consistency is what will bring results long-term. I've found that. So when I see people that are challenging and struggling, I check in with them. I'm like, well, tell me what your week looks like when it comes to building your Enagic business. And very rarely do they say, well, I'm doing it from Monday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then Thursday I do an afternoon session from 3 to 6. They say, well, I talked to a few people here and there, but there's not that consistency in like, these are the hours that I'm putting in. Because when you have those hours, you take action, whether it be follow-up, reading new videos, going through the training system. All of this is valuable because remember, it's accumulative efforts. So on day 1 in your business to day 300 to day 600, all those efforts of 1 hour a day or 3 hours a day or 5 hours a day start to add up. And that, according to Wade with his, it takes reps and sets to really build muscles. It takes reps and sets to really build an Enagic business, and you got to focus which time you're going to head into the gym or head into your business. So the daily method of operation, accountability for yourself, how many hours, book it, follow through. If you need help organizing that, that's where you reach out during one of your book times and book a session with myself, Wade, or your active upline leader. So I hope that brings a little bit of clarity around the daily method of operation. This is really key. I hope everybody's really enjoying the automated training system and getting your new people onto it. I think if a new person was to spend 90 days having their daily method of operation just consisting of going through all 24 emails and following up consistently, their potential of what they could achieve in this business would be so much greater than new people that don't take the time to get trained properly and don't build in a consistent, promised daily method of operation right from the get-go. So with that, I'm going to welcome Wade back, and we're going to invite you guys out there to give some comments, give some questions. All topics are open. We'd love to hear from you. And Wade, maybe you've got a few more things to add. Turning it over to you.
Yeah, I do. Thank you so much for your clarity on the daily method of operation. I think you've built a world-class business, and from that, you've now got a world-class lifestyle. And I think that's the best part of the whole process, is that process, there's freedom within the discipline. And disciplining yourself is really, really critical. I'll also say this too, as you move up the rankings, so a lot of the daily method of operation is something that we talk to for people who are, you know, rising up on the way to 6A. When you get into that somewhere around the 5A zone, there's a momentum typically within your business, and some of your daily method of operations are going to change from just particularly focusing on your own output, but also how you grow and build a team. And this gets more and more at 6A and 6A2 and 2.2 and 2.3. So I noted, to give you an example, why we created this is because I felt that I couldn't reach out and talk to everybody the way I did when I first started out, or the people on my team. My team was too large. So we created this methodology for you. So as you go through the 6A ranks, and for those of you who are out there, I know we got some 6As and 6A2s and stuff on the line here tonight. But if you're in that 6As and 6A2s and 2.2s, you really want to be leveraging the system. And the reason being is it's going to save you so much time, so much effort, it really, really is solid. And we have the best online training in all of Enagic. It really is. It's really thorough. It's really detailed. And if you go through it like Creel suggested, man, you will be a rock star in Enagic. And so what if it takes you 90 days? No big deal. Let's go to questions. So Kim, so if you have a question, type it in. Kim, I'm not able to access the attendees. All I have is staff on the list. Is there a reason for that?
Hold on one sec. Let me see what happens here. All right, try it now.
Now we're good. Thank you very much. By the way, we want a big shout out to Kim down in Louisville, Kentucky. By the way, just so you guys know, talk about a woman that's hustling. She's got, what is it, 30-some people on the water right now?
32 people on the trials, 4 people pending, 2, what do you call it, home package, the whole 3 package thing.
Home health packages. So
thank you. But you're right, doing the demo, getting out, getting in front of people, man, that has just been killer for me.
Yeah, and so to give you an example of what we're talking about, Kim spent a lot of time learning the skills, learning the stuff, going on the webinars, doing all these things to build up what she felt was her skill set and ability. And she was doing this stuff, and I said, you know what, Kim, just go out and you got all the tools, hit the demo, switch into overdrive, into turbo, and start talking to people with what you're going. And literally in a couple of weeks, she got 30-some people on the water. Okay, I mean, amazing stuff. And then of course, when people see the demos, it's amazing. We forget how powerful the demo is. So let's look at these questions. Okay, so here's a question from Carmen. Hey, Carmen. Great to see you. It's so nice to have you on the call. When you say Enagic back office, do you mean to go to distributors and log in, correct? Yes. That is correct. So do you have any further questions on that? Where is the ERIC convention being held, please? That is in Las Vegas, I believe, from December 1st to 4th. It's at the Las Vegas Convention Center, so a little different than last year was at the hotel, but now it's so big they got to have it at the convention center. They're doing, you can get on the monorail or whatever, so getting your tickets and getting a place to stay is a good idea. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so Carmen, Linda, any other questions that we got? We got a lot of people on the call tonight.
I'll just throw in, Wade, it's always best to hit the event, the energy of the event and meeting people and networking. It's totally awesome. But there are exceptions where you just physically can't make it out to the event. Eric's Worry's got a great stream live ticket that you can find more information on his site. So if you were not able to make it, maybe you want to get a stream ticket, host an event for your team, invite some new people over to your place, and really kind of make an event of the event in your local area. Be creative with it is also a really powerful way.
Yeah, I mean, really, things about, one of the things that I think is a really key point is events. People make big decisions. Events build social proof. Events is kind of what gets your belief system up the next level, and really I think Eric Worre's event is the premier networking event in the world, and I highly recommend. If you can't make it this year, definitely get on the online webinar and plan on going next year. It's been transformative for my business, and I know it's been transformative for every single person that I know have gone. So really do that. So we've got any more questions here, guys? We really, now's the time because, you got that burning desire. Don't be shy. Let it fly. We're here to help.
I'll make a few announcements while people are putting in some comments. Reminder to everybody that we've got a November 5th event happening in Honolulu. The event posters online. You can get it on CHA's page. So if you know who you know on the islands, and I know Siha and myself are going to be doing some demos on the Big Island and Maui afterwards. So reach out to people, get the conversations happening. And then there's going to be GoPro December 1st to 4th. And for those in Vancouver, any 6 days in Vancouver, there's going to be a special, we're moving to a new location. The Vancouver office has just been blasted this 2016 with an awesome year, so we've got a brand new office opening. And the office is going to be there starting November 6th. I would not advise going on the Monday. It's going to be chaos in the office. I'd wait, Tuesday, Wednesday to come into the new location in Burnaby. Details are at the office for the location. But that November 10th is a Saturday, and they're going to have a special event for 6As in the Vancouver area. So if you're going to be here, Rishek, you might be in town. That'd be a great thing for you and Savannah to make it out to. See a few other 6As on the line, Roger, Sabine. Well worth checking it out. So brand new office in Vancouver coming up soon.
And I'll add one more thing. Remember that the office staff is our partners in this business, and they're under a lot of pressure, and it can be a very, very challenging job. One of the things I highly recommend is take the time to build a relationship with a couple people. Do something nice for them. Bring in a card, bring in some flowers or something. Just do something that makes you set aside from everyone else, and try and treat them with respect and positivity. I know sometimes there can be lots of challenges in doing this business, and it's easy to kind of dump on them, but we forget how hard they're actually working. So, and I can tell you this, for the offices that I have relationships with people in the office, things move much faster than the offices that I don't have relationships with. So that's just human nature, and take advantage of it if you can. So with that, we don't have any more questions. We're going to wrap it up real quick. First and foremost, we're back again here is it next week? Yeah, are we back next week?
Yes.
Yeah, it's is it Halloween? Well, we're on trick or treat. Boo. So we're going to be following up again. We're halfway through the email sequence. You should have 12 PHA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of those, and you should have it in your specialized folder so you can leverage these in the future. Go through your checklist, connect with your upline, and you'll be good as gold. And we'll see you next week on the Prosperity and Health Alliance. Happy Halloween evening. And we've never done one of these on Halloween. I'm excited about that. All right, guys.
Awesome. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everyone. Take care.